Hi, folks. This is Dan with Main Sheet Solutions, and I'd like to tell you about how to unscramble a bill of materials with BOM Tools Suite. So, bills of material have a specific sequence. They maintain parent-child relationships, and those relationships need to be in a particular sequence. So, if the bill of materials has been scrambled, then those relationships are very difficult, if not impossible, to see. So that can happen for a variety of reasons, but let's take a look. In this particular case, I can try to group these rows here in this scrambled table, and it gives me this pop-up, and it says that the product structure has skipped a level. And I note down here, it highlighted this particular cell, and it skipped from level 2 to a level 4. It skipped over the level 3, and that's not proper. We need a level 3 in there. So this is not properly sequenced. Now, we've got to look for structured data within the table if we're going to make sense of this. And so I see out here to the right, I've got this structure ID column, and it has embedded hierarchical decimalized data. But you can tell it isn't treeing up properly. So what we can do is sort by this column. Now, if I just use the normal sort function within Excel, I do not get this particular column sorted properly. So what I see here is 1.1.1 following under 1.4. That's not where it goes. It goes under 1.1. Okay, so actually, and there's several others here that don't belong where they should be. So luckily, we have this function in Main Sheet Solutions BOM Tools Suite. This is called sort SID, or sort structure ID. And when I click on this pop-up appears, allows me to select the structure ID column. I click OK, and it does a couple of things. And ultimately, it will sort, and it's going to restore the proper structure. So we can see the structure in the decimalized hierarchy is maintained. We can see the level column looks reasonable. We have no levels skipping. And when I hit the group rows, I don't get the pop-up. And if I collapse this, I see subsystem A, B, C, and D in the proper sequence. Now, that all worked because we had this structure ID column. Well, what if you don't have that? Well, there's another option here. Sometimes tables come with this column, NHA, or Next Higher Assembly. This column has the part number of the parent. So take, for instance, this level 3 trees up to a level 2, and that level 2 has this part number. Okay, so what I could do is I could cut and paste this row and put it directly under that level 2. But that would take a lot of time, and I might make a mistake. So luckily, I've got this function here that allows me to do that cut and paste function automatically. And it gives me this pop-up, and it tells me that the structure is good. Now, one thing about this particular sort is that it doesn't necessarily restore the same sequence, the exact same sequence, but it does restore the proper hierarchy, and as in everything trees up properly. And I'll demonstrate here. So if I group rows, everything groups properly. I don't get a pop-up saying I didn't do it right. But we know I go from subsystem A to subsystem C, and then back to subsystem B, and then subsystem D. That's different than in this example, so subsystem A, B, C, and D. Doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just in a slightly different sequence. Everything's treeing up properly. Now, lastly, and this is probably the best way of doing it, is if there is a sequence column in the table, and this is the easiest way to do it. If you maintain a sequence column, all you need to do is to sort by that sequence. And that will restore the proper sequence. If you've sorted or scrambled somehow, and you can see here we've restored the proper sequence. And that works if you've got that column. Now, you don't always have this column, which is why these other options exist. And so we'll collapse this with C. Subsystem A, B, C, and D in that proper order. Everything's treeing up properly. So there you have it. We have 3 methods of restoring the proper sequence in the proper hierarchy of a bill of material. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy using the BOM Tools suite by Main Sheet Solutions. Come visit the site, take a look at more videos, and have a great day.